Hi. There seems to be a difference between Sunnis and Muslims. Some people think that Sunnis are Muslims, and obviously this is a wrong conclusion, because Sunnis have already given themselves the name Sunnis. They call themselves Sunnis. They follow a different book called Hadith by Bukhari, which means narrations by Bukhari. They don't follow this book. Sunnis do not follow Qur'an, which means that they're not Muslims. Everything that says in the Qur'an, Sunnis do not follow. Sunnis basically want to say, Sunnis are saying that they follow Prophet Sunnah, yet they fail to provide evidence for Prophet Sunnah, for the term Prophet Sunnah. They say that they have to follow Prophet's Sunnah and Prophet's Hadith, but they fail to provide the evidence for these two terms. And we find in chapter 33 verse 62, chapter 35 verse 43, chapter 40 verse 85, and chapter 48 verse 23 in the Quran. We find the Arabic word Sunnah and the name Allah in one sentence. We will never find the term Sunnatul Nabi or Sunnatul Rasul or Sunnatul Muhammad, anything in that sense. But we will find Sunnatul Allahi, Sunnatul Allahi. Yeah? You can find it yourself and you can verify it. In chapter 33, verse 62, chapter 35, verse 43, chapter 40, verse 85, and chapter 48, verse 23. Sunnis say that you have to follow Prophet Sunnah, but they cannot find evidence for this Prophet Sunnah. They cannot find it in the Quran. So where did they find Prophet Sunnah? Who told them to follow Prophet Sunnah? I don't know. Because Prophet Muhammad followed only the Quran, as we can see in chapter 7, verse 203, chapter 10, verse 15, and chapter 46, verse 9. Prophet Muhammad followed only the Quran. He did not follow Hadith by Bukhari, Hadith by Muslim, Hadith by Tirmidhi, none of that stuff. Because as we know, and even Sunnis know, that Bukhari came 200 years later after the death of Prophet Muhammad. So Prophet Muhammad and Bukhari never met. So why would we follow Bukhari and his literature? I don't know. Prophet Muhammad followed only the Quran. So we Muslims follow only the Quran. Sunnis follow, well, not the Quran. They follow Bukhari's literature for some unexplained, unknown reason. I don't know. Sunnis unfortunately are not Muslims anymore. Unfortunately they're idol worshippers, because they've corrupted Islam, and they've also added a name next to the Allah. As you can see from their own testimony of faith, they don't say God, there is no God but Allah. They've added a name of the Prophet, which means that they have become idol worshippers. Sunnis are unfortunately idol worshippers.